Okay, this is a quick little video. I installed a UPR single valve oil catch can kit, and just want to clarify something because they're not real clear on it. That kind of can be confusing for people, and that is there's an inside and an outside on an oil catch can. This one here to the left, where my finger's pointing, this is your outside on this can. It's not marked. Now this comes with this bracket already installed on it, and if you install it where it's supposed to be installed at by their instructions, it's going to be correct. But you always want to double check this stuff, because someone could invariably accidentally put it on backwards. But what you want to do is, before these lines are on, just unscrew the bottom of it, the can on it, and shine a flashlight through this hole on this fitting, and you should be able to see light coming through. If you do it on this side, you won't, because it goes into the filtering mechanism. So this is your inside. It goes through all the filters, and then the air passes through the filter and then exits out to the other side, which this would be the clean side, this would be the dirty side. And then as the filter catches oil, eventually it'll start dripping down, and that's what starts catching in the can. Another thing on this is their instructions will tell you, see if I can see the, yeah, I don't think you can see it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it down there, if this is going to pick it up, but where my finger's pointing down here, there is a, might be able to see the white lettering on it. That's the one-way check valve. There's arrows on that. Some people could get confused by the instructions on that as well, because what the instruction says is point away from the can towards the engine. Well, each line has a line going from the engine to the can, so it could be very easy to misunderstand that and end up installing the check valve on the side coming from the PCV valve to the can, but pointing the arrows towards the engine. That would be incorrect. The check valve goes on the outside of the can, where it goes into the manifold, with the arrows and the valve pointing towards the intake manifold, which they're calling the engine. So just a couple things that you might want to be aware of when you're installing these for someone who's never done it before, because it can get a little confusing by reading the instructions. Another thing I did, and let's see if I can, yeah, there you can just see it down there. I pulled off my TurboSmart blow-off valve. I had the dual port one on here. I bought the GFB Go Fast Bits diverter valve, the DV Plus, so it's no longer vents to atmosphere, so you don't hear that whoosh sound, which is no big deal. I would highly recommend getting this diverter valve, and this is it right here where my finger's pointing. I would highly recommend purchasing this one over all the others. And the reason I say that is the piston in this one has a much stronger spring on it. It takes much more effort to push the piston up on it. The TurboSmart valve, blow-off valve, is very light spring in it, so you can push the piston without hardly any effort at all. Same thing with the stock diverter valve. That spring is super light, and if you start building boost, it can push up that spring without even having the electronic signal sent to it to pull the piston up. So you could lose a little bit of boost. I have noticed a little bit of a difference on how this car responds since I put it in. It's a little bit better. So I highly recommend the GFB DV Plus diverter valve. There's a couple things I've recently done to it. Yeah, there's my Roush cold air intake. This feeds out of the front of the grill. I got my charge pipes. Those come from CVX, and there you can just see the one charge pipe. And then I got the Stita spacer. That actually helped fuel mileage by about 1 to 2 miles per gallon of what it was getting. So don't let anybody tell you that the throttle body spacer is useless on these. Will it give you more horsepower? No, it does not give you more power. What it will do is it breaks up the blockage of the intake air in there. It kind of it makes it swirl so it'll flow a little bit better. It's not enough to give you any horsepower increases, but you will actually get a little bit of a fuel economy increase, about 1 mile to 2 miles per gallon, depending on, you know, if you're on the highway or in town. So it's been beneficial. So, and then of course there's my Stita cross brace, a strut tower brace. I went with that and took off the stock one that came with it. So this one's about 1 pound lighter, maybe just over. And of course I have the Anderson Composites carbon fiber engine cover on it. Then back there I have the UPR one-way valve going into the valve cover, where you pour the oil in it. That'll relieve any pressure from the crankcase when you're on boost if it starts to build too much pressure. And then up here I have my Mishimoto coolant tank, and of course they have the one with the sight tube in it, so you know if you have coolant is low or not. The other ones you got to pull the top off of it to check it. So just some things that I have on this. Hope you enjoy it.